a nuclear reactor the size of a basketball compared to that huge chunk of crap there. So that's what was one of the big problems they had, tried to reduce it to the size of that basketball nuclear reactor. So simple, yet so powerful. But he's right, Bob Lazar was all along was right on the money.
Oh my
Here's what it looked like down inside of the protective. It was.
And that's at Area 51?
No, no. 9 guys that were not educated and didn't have.
And he did a 500.
The other rock arrived first.
Which one arrived first?
The one that had no magnetic field in it.
So you were able to cancel out gravity. This was in 1995. Just
Same.
does Lockheed Martin, and that much I can figure out.
And the edge.
Dynamic. So that we don't think that it's not using its wings.
Well,
I get it.
it has an energy source, okay?
I understand.
And it is saying in the and here's
Oh my
here's what it looked like down inside of the protective. It was.
And that's at Area 51?
No, no, much closer than we'd care to admit.
That's
Oh,
Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lockheed, of the contracts here, was in the paper this morning. $27 billion in the last, couple of years. Most of the majority of the defense contracts are here in Texas with Lockheed.
Well, certainly. No. That's why I don't mind having a retirement from them. And here was one of the old-time developments.
Oh.
Now I happen to know the guy who put that together.
Mm-hmm. How far does this date back? March? No, Mach 1.2?
I know it doesn't say, but in actuality, it's way, way back. The first, we must be at least
1960,
30, 40 years.
60s? After the Roswell crash, in the first week of July of 1947, it is alleged that the alien bodies in the craft are taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio. That's where the alien bodies in the craft were taken. What Boyd Bushman is holding up is a document that states that a reverse-engineered, nuclear-powered flying saucer that has a ceiling of over 60,000 feet, a range of 3,000 miles, nuclear-powered, anti-gravity saucer, that we reverse-engineered from the alien craft, and he knows who did it. He's testifying. Boyd Bushman is the man who designed the Stinger missile for General Dynamics. He worked for Howard Hughes. For 20 years he was at Lockheed Martin. He had access to above top secret and top secret files. He knows how to develop and reverse engineer anti-gravity technology and is actually demonstrating in front of us. And here we are for the first time in history. He is showing us proof that at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, we reverse-engineered flying saucer technology. In 1959 was the first date this thing flew. I mean, this is incredible. He's giving us what no one has ever been able to find before. And, he won't say, that it was an alien craft, obviously. I mean, it could have been something that was ours. But if we have anti-gravity, if we've developed anti-gravity at Lockheed or any level, secret level of the Black Ops, divisions of research, why aren't we using it in the world? Why doesn't the F-117 levitate? Or does the F-117 levitate?
Well, the key question from a physics point of view is a matter of another force.
Mm-hmm.
The question is are there more forces beyond the 4 or 5 forces that we're all acquainted with? Mm-hmm. The strong force, that's holding.
The strong force, I understand that.
The strong force and weak force, electromagnetic force, and gravity. Well, we have been under some development recently where the astronomers have begun to analyze the motion of galaxies apart.
Right.
And we have identified that the galaxies are being impelled apart. Mm-hmm. We used to say at increasing velocities, The recent data and the better data says that there's still a repulsing force. Well, a repulsing force is an anti-gravity.
It's stronger than gravity.
Literally. Newton says for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? Well, okay. If that's true, then I don't know. Don't let me get this thing lost, but if I let this fall on this carpet, if I had it concrete, if its elasticity was the same, then whatever the best that it could do would be to come back to the same height that I drop it from, right?
Right.
And if it came out higher than that, then I would have been violated Newton's law of equal and opposites, right? Okay, I need your hand. This is a standard tube, and you're going to catch these. These are magnets. Okay, now do notice that this is copper. It does not care about copper at all. It is not like iron. This one just
straight through,
right on
less than a second.
And this one,
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 4 seconds.
No, that's true. So now,
so you're canceling out gravity.
Well, by something that cares a little about magnetism.
The two opposing forces in here.
It's a matter of what is the aluminum doing. Why does it care about moving electrons? I find that were Sir Isaac Newton to be alive after Einstein, rather than the reverse.
Right.
Isaac Newton had a form of mathematics called the binomial expansion, where basically you can take anything that's mathematic, your sines, cosines, even the definition of pi, and you can put them in an expansion format. And if you add them all up, you get the correct definition of pi or sine and everything else. But it's usually meant for binomial expansion. If you really take Einstein's equation, it is a binomial. It is a binomial expression.
Right.
It's
mass and energy are equivalent.
If you do nothing more than shove that into Newton's series expansion, you will, and you multiply it like Einstein did, by m0 c². You multiply every one of the series expansion by that. Mystically, the first term, which is 1, when it's multiplied times m0 c², is the large force. The second one turns out to be kinetic energy. I mean, 1/2 mv², not c². Because Einstein had v,
Cancel.
and the c's cancel. It goes on ahead and basically shows that there are as many as 7 significant forces.
Really?
And the first, if you can include the kinetic energy, it turns out to be the first 5 we know.
Neutrinos.
Right.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th we don't know.
Right. So you're saying...
But we're taking the expression associated with the binomial expansion and taking a look at it. And it looks like that indeed there are, we believe that anti-gravity is there. That's one of them.
It's one of the forces, one of the...
But we have forces that are yet to be named. Up here, a picture of there's a rock up there.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, that actually came whizzing past between the moon and the Earth about 5 years ago. It's going to come back again in 2029, yeah, 2029, and then it will come back just between the Earth and Moon, and it will come back the next time in 2036.
So the orbit is decaying.
It will collide someplace between Siberia and Africa, and it will be a huge impact. Many megatons.
Bigger than Tunguska?
Don't know.
How big is that thing?
It depends on its velocity. But it's there. We know it. We're tracking it.
Oh,
And I said, and number 6, veer its orbit. No, well, yeah.